Alright boys, let's go through the 3 biggest mistakes that you make when it comes to texting. Fucking hell, look at that bicep. I'm working with currently over 100 guys right now when it comes to dating as a dating coach, and as you can imagine, I see certain mistakes over and over and over again. Now, this is why these guys have hired me, but when I see these mistakes, I often think certain things, right? Because I'm frustrated for these guys because I want to get them dates, and they're so close to getting dates, but they make these just little mistakes time and time again, right? That stop them from getting what they want, which is a date with a woman. And bigger picture, children, sex, marriage, kids. So with that being said, the number one mistake that you are making right now, I guarantee it, having worked with pretty much every kind of guy that exists, is you seem too serious over text. Now, this isn't just in your language, it's in the characters you use, the punctuation, especially the punctuation. One very common thing that I see with clients, one thing that I see over and over again with these guys, or my guys, is basically that they're overusing certain punctuation, like question marks, like commas, like exclamation marks, and by doing this, what you're doing is giving this girl this weird, creepy feeling. You know when girls describe a guy as being weird or creepy, this is what they mean. Guys they're too invested, they seem like they care too much, they seem like they want something, and the reason why this is obvious is simply because you are using punctuation, which makes it seem like you've sat and thought about an answer that you want to give for a long time. And then internally, this woman thinks, why does he care so much? Why does he put so much effort into what he's texting me right now? And it weirds her out, and it makes her not want to speak to you anymore. And that's what makes her essentially stop speaking to you, ghost you. Wow, there's a very big fire over there. So here's my practical advice that you can implement right now moving forward. Stop using commas. If you need to use a comma, first of all, assess whether it's actually needed, or secondly, just don't use it. If you write out a sentence and then put a comma for another sentence to have one big paragraph, you shouldn't be doing this. You shouldn't be sending more than one sentence at one time. Just jump to the next line, send one message, no full stop, on to the next one, right? By doing this, it's going to seem way more casual, way more relaxed, like you're not invested in her, and that will make her more attracted to you. Because if you've watched my other videos, you'll understand that what makes her invested and attracted towards you is you seeming like you don't really care, like you're not really invested in her, right? That's the first thing. And same with exclamation marks and question marks. There isn't really a need for them, guys. When it comes to texting women, if you're using question marks and exclamation marks, I promise you it's going to seem like you are very interested in an answer, or you are too excited about an answer or something she's told you, both of which make you seem too keen, both of which will make her pick somebody else, okay? So just do not do it. Just don't do it. That's the first thing that you're doing, which is ruining your ability. That's the first big texting mistake that you are making, okay? The second big texting mistake that you are making is the jokes you are making. Now, we all know that funny guys do well with girls, and we all know that guys who are funny often get her into bed, etc., right? So how do we actually transpire this to a woman, right? Well, you have to do it very obviously. One thing I've seen with many clients is that when they make jokes, it's not obvious that it's a joke. And if it's not obvious to me that it's not a joke, it certainly won't be obvious to her that it's a joke. You have to make it explicitly clear that you are joking, right? If you want it to have the effect that you are aiming for. So how do we do this? Well, we use something called agree and amplify, right? Which is basically like a fancy way of saying when we're joking, we really, really exaggerate the answer. We don't just joke, we emphasize and exaggerate the joke so much that it's impossible for it to be interpreted as anything but a joke, right? Now, we do this by taking something to the extreme. So let's say you were saying to a girl, like, oh, I can't even think of an example. Let's say you're making a joke to a girl, either through an emoji or through like a smirky face. You have to make it so fucking obvious that you are joking by taking it to the extreme. Like, here's an example. Let's say a girl says to me, oh, you seem like the kind of guy who goes on tons of dates. Now, a joke could be, haha, what do you think, right? But that's gonna leave things a bit too open-ended where she can't really tell if I'm joking. The way to make this extremely playful and jokey is either by going to one end of the extreme by saying, for example, actually I'm a virgin, I was hoping you would help me out with that. Or by saying, yes, I'm actually on date number 25 this week, hoping you'll be number 26. Now that's so obvious that it's a joke, right, that she will think you're funny. And if you do this, she'll think you're lighthearted, she'll think you're laid back, and she'll want to go on the date with you. Third biggest texting mistake that you're making right now is a bit of a hidden one. It's by spending too long it's by adding her on social media, right? Now, unless you have an amazing Instagram or amazing Facebook, not that I imagine you're adding her on Facebook, but a lot of people, they go from Tinder, Bumble, Hinge to Instagram because they want to have a stalk of her profile. They want to, check out her other profile, her other pictures, make sure she is who she says she is. The thing is, even if you have a really good profile, she's going to have so many guys in her DMs to the point where she's not even going to consider you as an option. And I've made this mistake so many times where I've added a girl on Instagram going from Hinge to Tinder or Bumble, and even with my Instagram being fairly good, because she's got 100 guys in her DMs, her brain just instantly switches off from me. She just forgets about me because she's got so many other guys giving her attention and validation. Don't be one of these guys. So the way that we combat this is by adding her on iMessage, SMS, or WhatsApp, something basically where you're going to be one of the few guys that is texting her on that platform. If, for example, you add her on SMS, most guys aren't texting her on SMS, so you will stand out, and therefore you're increasing your likelihood of her seeing your message, of her replying, and then her going on the date with you. Half the battle in texting is her just remembering to reply to you, is her just actually seeing your message and maintaining that interest, or enough interest, want to see you. Because if you do this, she will meet you, and it's fairly easy. Then if you follow my other advice when it comes to escalation, being an attractive guy, not just physically but mentally, then you're going to do really, really well with these girls. Now, if you want a full texting guide to ensure that you avoid the mistakes that I'm talking about, then go to my description where I have a full free texting guide. And also, if you want to take things to the next level, I have a full guide on school, a video guide, a video course, everything from your communication, your mindset mastery, your texting, your pictures, how to master Instagram game, creating leads, everything, right? Everything is in my bio below. So if you want to take your dating game to the next level, you will find all of the good stuff there. All right, boys, until the next video, I will see you all later.